Welcome again, YouTubers, to my channel. This is Sheldoc's channel. Now in this video I'll be looking at fuel and how it can affect your injectors. Now, how fuel affect your injectors? If your fuel is contaminated, so the fuel going into your tank, if it is contaminated, you will definitely have problems with your injector. Now, how a fuel can become contaminated? Now, it can become contaminated if from the fuel station that you're using, if you get bad fuel there, it is contaminated from that point. Now, in some countries, I don't know what the regulation is, but I would assume that in poorer countries, you may get more contaminated fuel. And when I say contaminated, I mean fuel that has some residue inside of it, dirt or whatever it is. And whenever you pour that fuel into your fuel tank, what happens is that all of that fuel along with the contamination settles inside the tank, and whenever the fuel pump sucks it up, it goes directly into the injectors down into your combustion chamber, and it is burnt there. Now let us look at how it can affect your fuel system. For one, inside the fuel tank you have your fuel filter, and whenever the pump suck up that fuel, it pulls it through the fuel filter, and when it pulls it through the filter will filter some of that fuel, and when it goes up into the pump and goes into the injectors, you should get a cleaner fuel going into the injector because of the fuel filter that is inside the tank. But it is not always going to be 100% clean, because the filter can filter so much. Well, I have watched videos with persons cleaning their fuel filter, and trust me, it is like whenever you put the filter, remove it from the fuel tank, put it in something that you're cleaning it with, some gasoline or something, that some cleaner. When the person is cleaning it, it looks like when the monsoon is running over in India. So that's how dirty the filter is, and it is because of the dirty fuel that is going inside the fuel tank. So injectors can become clogged because the fuel filter can filter so much and no more of that dirty fuel or that dirt that is inside the fuel, and some of it will pass into the injectors. So I did a video some time ago about you may never need to clean your injectors. Yes, that is true, because whenever you're living in a country that gives you pure fuel or very good fuel, clean fuel, you may not need to clean the injectors, not necessarily for the life of the vehicle, but for a very, very long time. So you may have or own the vehicle for 6-7 years and don't need to clean the fuel filter, oppositely to persons who live in countries that may get dirty fuel. You may need to clean your injectors and even pull out the fuel filter out of the tank and clean it probably every 3 years or 4 years, depending on the contamination of the fuel. So yes, you have countries that may not need, because of their regulations, they have nice clean gasoline going into your engine, just as how you expect whenever you turn on your tap, you get pure clean water from your tap. But not in every country you're going to get that. So it's the same thing with fuel. So some countries will give you fuel and the fuel is a bit contaminated. Other countries, when you go to those countries, you will get cleaner fuel, and it will prevent the injectors to clog up and give you a very long life out of it without it being clogged up. So I'm not saying in the other video that you don't need to clean your injectors. It all depends on the country that you're living in. So if you're living in a country that serves you, a somewhat contaminated fuel, you may need to clean your injectors. You may need to go inside your fuel tank and clean the fuel filter. Hopefully this clear up some issues that some persons may have with the previous video relating to fuel and how clean the fuel is. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Have yourself a nice time.